I will say is, as great as Ant is as a basketball player, there's still some growth for him as well. Because as a leader, I would not have walked down there and shook their hand. I would not have walked down there and shook their hand with 8 minutes left in the game. As a leader of my troops and my guys, I would not show that weakness. The game is not over. I got 8 minutes left. I still got smoke coming out of my ears because I'm so damn mad we losing. Let me calm down for those 8 minutes since I'm not in, and then after those 8 minutes, I'll go down there and I'll congratulate them and their coaching staff. But in the middle of the game, when I got guys that have sat the bench and cheered me on, no, I'm gonna sit there and cheer those guys on. I'm gonna put that energy back into those guys, and then when the game's over, I'll go over there and shake their hands. So that's just the way I handle things. I'm a little bit different. I'm a little bit old school. I understand there's a different generation, but I don't think if they were beating San Antonio, Wemby would have went down there and shook his hand with 8 minutes left. I don't think so. I damn sure know Wemby wouldn't have went down there and shook his hand.
You have to look at the optics of this. 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You are at home. You are facing elimination. Your bench players, the guys who practice with you, sweat with you, and cheer for you all season, are out there playing out the string. And instead of giving them your energy, you walk over to the opponent's huddle. I don't care what generation of basketball you are from. That is strange. When you are the leader, when you are the alpha dog of a franchise, you take your licks at the buzzer. You let the clock hit 0, and then you show your respect. You don't show weakness when there is still time on the clock. It sends a message to your locker room that you tapped out early. And while Ant is an incredible talent, a true cornerstone, this is where the growth has to happen. He was hobbled, the team was missing Dante DiVincenzo, and Ayo Dosunmu was playing hurt. But as a leader, you don't concede early. Can you imagine Victor Wembanyama doing that if the roles were reversed? Absolutely not. But the dap up wasn't even the most telling part of the night. It was the post-game press conference.
How much work do you guys have to do going forward here to catch up in the Western Conference and
to contend again? I don't know, man. I think I don't think that's a question for me.
Let me translate that for you. Tell the front office to do their job. When your superstar says it's not his decision, he is publicly putting pressure on the general manager. And honestly, he has every right to. The Timberwolves have a problem, and explicitly said they struggle to process what the coaches are asking, that guys try to do things on their own, and that they lack championship habits. This isn't a young team finding its footing. They have veterans. They have guys making massive money. If you don't have championship habits by the time you reach an elimination game in the second round, you are never going to get them. Here's the reality Minnesota's waking up to. The Western Conference is quickly becoming a two-horse race between San Antonio and Oklahoma City. And the scary part is those two teams are built perfectly. Look at the Thunder. They defend 1 through 5. Every single guy on the floor can stay in front of their man. Look at the Spurs. They defend 1 through 5, and they have the ultimate cheat code anchoring the paint. In the modern NBA, you cannot survive if you have weak links on the floor. If you have a guy who can't shoot, or a guy who gets targeted on pick and rolls, elite teams will spam that matchup until you are forced to bench him. The Timberwolves have to look in the mirror. They are built around Rudy Gobert, a defensive specialist who struggles to stay on the floor against 5-out offenses, and Julius Randle, who completely disappeared in this series. You can't be paying massive money to guys who become liabilities when the matchups get tough. People love to say the regular season doesn't matter, but look at Minnesota's path. They had massive inconsistency issues all year. They were dropping games they had no business losing, blowing 7-point leads in the final minute to teams like Phoenix, and turning the ball over at an alarming rate. Because of those bad habits, they fell to a lower seed. That meant they had to face a brutal Denver team in the first round, grinding through a long physical series that left Ant hobbled and the rest of the roster battered. By the time they ran into the buzzsaw that is San Antonio, they were running on fumes. Championship habits are built in November and December. You don't just flip a switch in May. So where do they go from here? The front office has major decisions to make. Randle, McDaniels, and Naz Reid are locked in, but Ayo, Bones Highland, and Mike Conley are all free agents. And with DiVincenzo likely missing a huge chunk of next season, the depth chart is looking incredibly fragile. Do they try to package Randle? Do they finally admit the Gobert fit is flawed when facing the elite teams? Ant needs a true point guard to take the pressure off him, but the flexibility just isn't there. Minnesota didn't just lose a playoff series, they lost their standing in the West. Drop a comment below. What does Minnesota need to do this summer? Do they need to blow up the front court? Or do they just need to get healthy? Let me know. And keep it locked right here for more unfiltered hoops talk.